Feel Good 2015, indeed. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is SABC3. With us, Dr. Darren Green this morning. We're talking about germs in the office environments and also with most of us going back to school, what to do and how not to spread those germs. So we're going to take your call straight away, 0839133728. In fact, Yvonne is on the line. Hi, Yvonne. Good morning and welcome to Expresso. What's your question or comment?
Morning, yes. What I'm wanting to know is is there an incubation period for the flu virus?
Thank you for your question, Yvonne. So what is the incubation period for the flu virus?
And very important to note, there's a wide variety of viruses. You get influenza type A, you get the swine flu virus, adenovirus, etc. that all give flu-like symptoms. And all of them have different incubation periods.
Right.
The average incubation period is between 48 to 72 hours after, obviously, contracting droplet spread. Remember also that there are other viruses that are latent. In other words, they sit around in the body waiting for your immunity to dive before they then become active,
right,
replicate, and really become abundant. One of those are shingles, which is a herpes virus that activates particularly because it lives in the nerve tissue. And when your immunity is down, you're not sleeping, you're not eating properly, and you're exhausted and stressed, you often then develop the shingles virus.
I can't help but asking, and thanks, Yvonne, for your question. You know, you talked about germs spreading and how far it can go when there's, for instance, a sneeze and someone is infected. How long does it live there? Does it go away or does it just keep living there? And
yeah, the answer lies in the amount of colonization. In other words, it depends how much of the virus you've got in your body, right, that determines whether you develop symptoms or not. So as you contract any foreign pathogen, in other words, an organism that can cause infection, your body launches an immune response to it if its presence is enough.
Minute.
Yeah, so, and then you have then all the effects of the immune response to it, the fever, you know, the rigors, the chills, the body pain, etc.
We don't like that.
We hate that.
We're talking about germs this morning, how it spreads in the office environment and also how it spreads from school and also, I guess, in the home environment. But taking more of your calls, 0839133728. Sarah from Woodmead, you're live on our Feel Good Breakfast Show. What's your question?
Yes, I have a problem. Most of the time, when I'm buying groceries, you often see the staff that are packing your groceries are picking their nose, and then they touch your groceries. And as one knows, germs are spread from the nose more than anywhere else.
Indeed.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for your question.
She makes a good point. Even
I wouldn't shop there anymore. I'd run away.
the trolley handles are a major one.
Yes,
I mean, if you think about that.
But that's a problem. What to do?
I think she needs to speak to the management of the institution. But certainly also, remember, they definitely caught on camera, so they can't deny it in most shops. But that is a big concern. And if you think about it, it's actually an invasion of your privacy. You're paying for the privilege of taking germs home, which is definitely not on. So I think that she should mention that to the store manager, as well as obviously the hygiene centered around other things in the store, like the cleaning of the fridges, for example, as well as the trolley handles. They often put a disinfectant as well as a wet wipe at the entrance to many of the shopping centers.
Sarah, I also think what happens is that if you take all these things home, to give it a good wipe, and also I guess we have to just wash our hands in between as well. But you know, seeing all the questions from the ladies coming in this morning, I can't help to ask flu vaccinations. I mean, we're all going back to school now. When is the right time to take that flu vac? I mean, do we do it now even though it's not flu season? Do we become paranoid?
No, good question. You need to wait a little bit because every year, you know, there's slight mutations to the virus and a new strain is developed annually for the virus to come. So those viruses are normally available by March for the winter season. So that's when I'd recommend people, you know, in South Africa, then ask and request help with the flu vaccine. Remember that the people that benefit most are the age group above 65 years. And then, of course, obviously children that are very young. But definitely older people, it limits the intensity of their disease and reduces the amount of complications associated with the influenza infection.
We want more of your calls, 0839133728. I think it's Sarah on the line. You're live. Or Shazia. Shazia, we can hear you. You're live. Hiya.
Okay, my thing is just a comment or suggestion. I know that in many offices and things, as they do overseas, they don't have those toilet covers. And so what I do is I buy them from Clicks or Pick and Pay or whatever, and then just keep them on me. And so use them, and then that's a bit more sanitary, because otherwise you're not sure the bathroom hygiene of the people around you. And
Good point.
yeah, It's easier.
Thank you so much for your comments. Well, she's making a suggestion that you buy toilet seat covers. I mean, doctor, how far do we go? Do we buy a hand sanitizer, a toilet seat cover, a mask, some gloves for the water cooler?
You can walk around with a rucksack on your back.
This is my germ bag.
I think what we need to do is get people in our environments to be more like-minded. So, you know, obviously within reason and within limits. So I think basic hand washing techniques are very important. Understanding hygiene around the bathroom, for example, I think that the materials and equipment in the bathroom needs to be there. The hand towels need to be there. The soap needs to be there. The disinfectant and so forth. Those toilet brushes that sit next to the toilet that just linger, never get cleaned, are never disinfected, are just... And children love playing close to the ground. So what's the first thing they do? They crawl to the toilet bowl and
brush their
reach.
teeth.
They reach next door, and that's what we don't want. So I think she makes a very good point of you know, for ladies particularly, UTIs, urinary tract infections, contact with the infected toilet seat, for example, can lead to infection because of the short distance a bug needs to travel to cause a urinary tract infection in ladies. So that's why she makes a few very good points.
I also think it's time to like rope in all our managers, you know, and just to spread the word. If there's not a personal hygiene etiquette or a mentality at work, this is probably the best time to do it right at the beginning of the year as you walk in as a New Year's resolution. But thanks, Doctor, and
Pleasure.
stay with us, please.
Sure.
We're enjoying this discussion and we're enjoying your phone calls as they're coming through. That number again, 08391 33728. We're talking about germs in the office space and spreading them also at school and at home. But we want to know how our kids are doing. In fact, we took to a mini cricket tournament to find out exactly how they are feeling going back to school. And there's no one that says it best in the true reflection of the child's words.